Israel and Hamas to meet in Egypt, make a last-ditch effort for peace in Gaza. Joining us is Ambassador Pinag Ranjan Chakraborty. Ambassador Chakraborty is a former Indian envoy to Thailand and Bangladesh. He has also served as the Deputy Chief of Mission at the Indian Embassy in Israel in the mid-90s between 1995 and 1999. Ambassador, welcome to DD India News Hour. Now, 2 days from now, the world will observe the second anniversary of the 2023 Hamas attacks in Israel. How optimistic are you that a deal will be sealed before that?
Well, as diplomats, we are perennially optimistic that something will happen out of the deal. Yet, I think there are some rough edges that need to be smoothened out. And Hamas has already said accepts the deal, but it has some conditions. That Hamas basically feels that the deal is like signing on its own death warrant, like committing suicide. There are a lot of clauses in it. It has to be surrender, it has to stand itself. That I'm not so sure whether Hamas will be able to do that. And they will not going to give up everything they have created in Gaza in terms of our base, just to ensure that Israel and America celebrate victory in Hamas. So I think it's not a done deal, fully done deal, but there will be some more, I think, tug of war in Cairo when they meet as to how it can be further defined, the deal. But I think you see, Hamas is basically negotiating with guns, guns, not just one, several guns to its head by various people. And Trump has already threatened that if they don't agree within 72, if they don't release the hostages within 72 hours, then Hamas will be obliterated. These are his own. So I think we are, Hamas is basically under a lot of pressure. Hence, it is perhaps they might now succumb to these kind of threats, and also whether they might lose support from some of their Arabs and others who have been mediating on behalf. I think the Egyptians will now try to do that. So let's hope for the best. Fingers crossed.
Indeed. Ambassador, since you referred to the Israeli use of the word obliterate, what happens to Israel's strategy of obliterating, completely destroying Hamas? How would a ceasefire affect that stated goal of Israel's?
Well, the peace plan is a kind of, in the sense that Hamas has to disappear. And because Israel has not been able to demolish. Now, through the peace plan, the Hamas has to disarm, they have to leave, they have to hand over power to people like a board, board of directors, which has and then they will sort of, exercise power in Gaza. So Hamas has to get out of Gaza. They cannot continue their activities. If they want to survive and get an amnesty, they have to, they have to put their arms down and then live peacefully as civilians or whatever. And they will be under surveillance. They come out, it will be open and say, here we are surrendering. And of course, they will be caught, and I think put under surveillance. Some of them might even be, I don't know, they even be, charged with crimes and tried. So Hamas is in a corner, but I don't know. I mean, Hamas may decide to brazen it out and say, hey, look, we will fight to the last man. Then the whole thing will figure out.
Indeed, and amid all of this, Ambassador, U.S. President Trump says that Israel has agreed to an initial withdrawal line. Could you elaborate for the benefit of viewers tuning in on Trump's plans for a phased Israeli withdrawal from Gaza?
Well, I think the Israelis have accepted to withdraw to a particular line, which is of course within Gaza. It is not as if it is at the or the border that is shown on the map, black line. It is probably the above the or on the towards the west of the black line, so that they come closer to the border, leaving the coastal part and various other areas where the Palestinians are living or somehow managing to survive, so that they don't come under on the radar of the IDF. And but then Israel, even while this peace plan is being discussed, has launched some attacks, I think, and killed some people. Yeah. So that is the current position, and quite fluid in my view. And we cannot expect that everything is signed and sealed. So, and I think we'll have to wait.
Indeed, I need to apologize to our viewers for that poor audio link with our guest. We'll try to fix that as and when we can. But returning to our guest, Ambassador Chakraborty, Ambassador, talking about President Trump, Trump's peace plan is rather vague on a two-state solution. Now, is a two-state solution vital for lasting peace?
Well, we can argue about that. The two-state solution is, of course, I believe, subscribed by over 150 countries in the world.
Right.
Because that is how the negotiations, etc., had proceeded earlier, and Israel had also accepted. But now, I think, under the Prime Minister Netanyahu and the right-wing kind of turn in Israeli politics and government, it seems very unlikely to be that the two-state solution is the end goal of at least the Israelis.
But is it on or off the table as we speak?
Well, nobody can knock it out from the menu or from the table because the world supports it. Mr. Trump is probably diluting it and allowing Israel to a larger sort of scope for, maybe grab more territory in the West Bank.
Okay.
Because I think even if you think that today, even where the populations are, to have a two-state solution will be very, very difficult without actually moving out population from one area to another, so that the Palestinians are there. But also don't forget that Israel too has Palestinians, over 1 million of them. And they are, of course, Israeli. They are Israeli citizens. They are not Palestinian citizens. So I think those problems are there. But some people have felt that a one-state solution is the best solution, so that everybody lives together. And in that one state, the number of Jews and the Palestinians, the Jewish people, Israelis, and Palestinians would be equal, almost equal. So I think those are some of the things that people have been talking about. Nothing is settled, I think, till it's all settled.
Fair enough. And as we wrap it up, Ambassador, Prime Minister Modi has welcomed US President Trump's peace plan. What are India's stakes really when it comes to peace in West Asia?
Well, I think India has very high stakes in peace in West Asia. We have had long-standing relations with the countries of the Gulf, for example. We have economic and other ties. 8 million Indians work there. So we want basically a peaceful, prosperous region where the wars are stopped, because the wars create problems for various activities, particularly economic and movement of people. So I think if the war stops, it could be, and I think that is the reason why Prime Minister Modi has welcomed the peace plan and hoping that this works out under whatever conditions that are being discussed.
All right, Ambassador, we leave it there. Ambassador Pinag Ranjan Chakraborty, thank you for joining us and sharing your perspectives with our viewers at home and abroad. Thank you. Much appreciated.